Маша. Сегодня среда, и я научу вас, как сказать сегодня среда на русском. Today is Wednesday, and I'm going to teach you how to say today is Wednesday in Russian. Yes, we are going to learn how to say the days of the week. In the Russian language, there are 8 days of the week. Totally kidding. I'm totally kidding. We're crazy, but we're not that crazy. But when learning this topic, there are a few different quirks, and I'm going to go over it all with you. So I'm going to share my screen actually, and we'll learn a few different topics like how to say the days of the week and how to spell them, how to ask what day of the week it is, and how to say what day of the week it is, and then also how to say that you're doing something on a certain day of the week. And it will be a pretty short lesson, but a valuable one because we could use it in our everyday lives. And before we get started, I just want to remind you, please subscribe to my channel. I publish often and I have all sorts of content, but if you don't see something that you want to, I really encourage you to let me know so I can make a lesson for you. Without further ado, let's not waste any more time and get to learning. Alright, so here we are. I have my screen up for you guys. On the left, you can see what we will be going over. So on the very left, we have the days of the week right here, written in Russian. And then in the middle is how you pronounce them, written in English letters. And then on the very right is the English equivalent to that day. I'm actually going to write these out as I say them to you so you can see how the letters sound. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Понедельник. This is Monday, right here. Понедельник. Понедельник. So let me write it out for you. Like this. Del. Soft sign right here. Ник. Понедельник. 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 This is Monday. Okay. Now we will go to over here. Вторник. 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 It's Tuesday. So it starts with this letter V, but it's just softened a little bit to sound more like an F, like F. Вторник. Like that. So I'll spell it out to you. V T O R Ник. Вторник. Вторник. Like that. This is Tuesday. Then we will move on to среда. Wednesday. Среда. 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 And here, I'll give you an example of something here. So let's write it first. S, R, I, da. Среда. So it has this letter yeah, but it's not stressed. The a is. So yeah kind of sounds more like I. Среда. Not среда, but close between e and I. Среда. Like that. Среда. So the A is stressed here. So Wednesday is среда. Среда. Alright? Let us do the next one, which is четверг. Thursday. Четверг. Четверг. I'll write it out. Ч. Чет. четверг, четверг, четверг. It's Thursday. Next will be Friday. We like Fridays, but we still have to work on Fridays. Okay, this is пятница. Пятница. Spelled like this. P at pat ni ts a. Пятница. Like that. Пятница. So this one's easy to remember because this pat, it's 5. It's the word 5 in Russian, pat. Spelled a little bit different, but close. So if you want to spell it like this, it'll just have this little stop sign. Okay, so пятница is the 5th day of the week. So pat, 5, пятница, 5th day of the week. Makes sense, right? Пятница. Friday. And then we will go to суббота. Saturday. Суббота. Суббота. We definitely like Saturdays. No work. Like this. It's got a double B. Суббота. 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 Saturday. Суббота. And then the last one is воскресенье. Day of rest. Воскресенье. Kind of more of a tongue twister. Воскресенье. Alright? Spelled out like this. Vas kre sin. Then it has the little stop sign. Yeah. Воскресенье. This воскресенье. I don't know if that helps. Alright, those are the days of the week. And you can actually tell that they're not capitalized. And that's done on purpose because in the Russian language, the days of the week are not capitalized. So let's just review really quick again. We have, I'm going to just maybe bring this to the center like this. Okay, we have Monday, понедельник, понедельник. Tuesday we have вторник, вторник. Wednesday, среда, среда. Thursday, четверг, четверг. Friday, пятница, пятница. Saturday, суббота, суббота. And lastly, Sunday, воскресенье, воскресенье. That is how you say the days of the week. Now, let's move on to how you would ask what day of the week it is. For this, I will also write it out. If you want to ask what day is it today, we'll go like this. Какой сегодня день? Какой сегодня день? Какой сегодня день? Какой means like what or what kind. Сегодня means today, and день means day. So you're asking like what kind today day, kind of like that in literal terms. But this is how you ask what is the day today. What is today? Какой сегодня день? Какой сегодня день? And then we can reply сегодня среда. Stressed on the а. Среда. Сегодня среда. Today is Wednesday. Or let's just do one more. Сегодня четверг. Сегодня четверг. Today is Thursday. And you'll notice that I'm not using the word is. Because in the Russian language, we don't. We don't use these filler words like is and that. So you just use today, Thursday. Today, Wednesday. And the is understood. So it's one less word to know. Сегодня понедельник. Сегодня вторник. Сегодня среда, четверг. Like that. Today, Thursday. Today, Friday. Don't need the word is. Okay. That sums it up for this section. Now let's move on to our last section, where we'll talk about how you say that you're doing something on a certain day of the week. So here, I'll just move things around a little bit, like here. I think that'll give me enough space. So if you're saying that you're doing something on a certain day of the week, we're adding a prepositional word to these days of the week. And it's the accusative case that we will be using. So the prepositional word is going to be up here on the right. I'll write it for you. V. V. That means in. It can mean on or even at. So for example, I could say I'm at a restaurant or I'm in a restaurant. I would say я. I'll spell out for you down here. Я. This means I in Russian. Я. Я. Then I'll go to the prepositional word в. В ресторане. Я в ресторане. Я в ресторане. Like that. I'm at the restaurant. I'm in the restaurant. So let us practice using our days of the week. I'm going to just make this a titch bigger so I could write a little bit more easier. Okay, let's do this. That will work. But it's like this. Okay. So let's say that I'm reading. I will say я читаю. Я читаю. I read or I'm reading. Now let's go to start with Monday. Я читаю. You look at the word Monday. I'm going to write в понедельник. Я читаю в понедельник. The word понедельник doesn't change, so that's nice. So let's go to четверг, Thursday. Я читаю Again. Четверг. Я читаю в четверг. Like that. You can kind of notice that the v sounds a little softer, more like f also. So it's just not like в четверг, sounding so hard between the syllables, between the letters. So в понедельник, в четверг. Now let's go to вторник. That is going to be a little different because вторник starts with v. Now we're adding another one. And here we're just going to split them a little bit by adding an o. So va. Я читаю во вторник. Во вторник. And then we'll move to воскресенье. So this also starts with the letter V, with the sound V. And here, we're not going to add this extra O, or A. We're just going to say V, воскресенье. So why they're different, we like to make you guys guess with this language. But so воскресенье, with these two V letters together, you're just going to keep them together and draw out the sound a little bit. Воскресенье, like that. Воскресенье, воскресенье. Okay. Now, я читаю в понедельник, я читаю во вторник, в четверг, and в воскресенье. You can see, like I said, the words didn't change, and I'll tell you why. Because 3 of these are masculine nouns because they end in a consonant like ka, right here, and ge for четверг. And then the 4th one, воскресенье, is a neuter noun because it ends in ye. So for this case, these words don't change. But let us move on to the 3 other days of the week. Let's start with среда, Wednesday. We will say я читаю в, like this, but we're going to cross out the a, and we're going to replace it with an u. Looks like the English y, but in Russian it's u. It's the letter U, and it sounds like U. So it will be в среду. So if you remember for this word, it by itself, I'm just going to spell it out for you real quick. Среда, it's the a that is stressed. But then if you're saying on Wednesday, and we're changing this to u, it's actually the e that's stressed. В среду. Just changes a little bit. Just another little quirk like I was saying. Alright. Here, I'm going to just make this a little bit more neat. Cross out the ones we've done. Понедельник. Вторник, четверг, воскресенье. These are the masculine and neuter ones where the ending doesn't change. Now we are on Wednesday, and we're going to move to пятница, Friday. Again, it'll be v. We're going to cross out the a and replace it with u. В пятницу. Я читаю в пятницу. And суббота. I bet you know what we're going to do here. It also ends in a. Cross it out, replace it with u. В субботу. Я читаю в субботу. And why the a's change to u's, I will tell you. Because these are feminine nouns. Here I'll pick pink. Because they end in a. And in this case, a changes to u when you're saying you're doing something on these days. So, я читаю В среду я читаю в пятницу. Softer, like f. And в субботу. Okay, that is how you say that you're doing something on certain days of the week. But there's one more variant, and I would like to just go over it with you really quickly. So here we learned the preposition v, and then there's another one that's similar, and that is na, like this, na. This means the same thing, means on in this case, but you only really use it if you're referring to like an appointment or maybe an event. So you don't use it as often as v, but you do use it. And for this, instead of saying v, oh, that's not the eraser. Here you go. Instead of saying v, you're just going to simply replace it by, oh my gosh, like this. Na. Sorry for the slappiness. Na. Na понедельник. And then all the words will remain the same. The ones ending in consonants, the masculine words, or ending in yeah, the neuter, the endings will remain the same. And then the feminine words with ending a will change to u. So you don't have to memorize anything special using this preposition with these words. But it's just another variant that you might come across. And you know what? I think that's it. I think that is all that we're learning in this lesson. Let's just review these words one more time, just for good measure. Okay, let's pick, I don't know, this pretty blue color. All right. Monday, понедельник. Tuesday, вторник. Wednesday, среда. Thursday is четверг. Friday, пятница. Pat, like the number 5, пятница. Saturday is суббота. And lastly, Sunday, воскресенье. This concludes our lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had fun teaching it, and I'll see you in the next lesson.